welcome to the DYM. Oh, did I forget one?
Yeah, 3, 2, hey!
Web show. Doug Fields here with Josh Griffin, the co-host who
Hello?
doesn't co-host.
I kind of do.
And the
Eye
queen, Katie Edwards, junior high extraordinaire at Saddleback Church.
Thank you.
Josh also works there. And then there is the senior pastor, former youth pastor.
Woo!
Are we going to make it to a show where we don't
Genesis
mention...
of Supertones.
There it is. There it is.
King of the Supertones. We had to Google. Is there anything of Supertone value, like in the eBay or anything like that?
Autographed, anything, or...
Not really.
Did you start the
Supertones
band?
could be the
Yeah.
intro
Okay.
music.
Yeah.
I knew you were the original band. I didn't know if you started it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're very happy that you all are
So
here.
happy.
Our show is sponsored by Orange. We're all excited about
are.
Orange.
Yes.
Love it.
You got your
Very
free
excited.
curriculum last
yeah.
week.
So cool.
XP3 is their junior high and high school curriculum.
Pretty rad.
We're excited about.
Thank
We're
you,
going to be
Orange,
at their
for sponsoring the show.
conference
Yeah.
at the
Yes, we
end
will.
of
April,
April.
1st of May. It's going to be great.
It is
April.
gonna be great.
The very last Wednesday, Thursday of April, and then Friday's the 1st, I think, of May.
There you go.
If you've
We're
never
gonna
been, you should go.
Yeah,
You really
it's,
should.
it's a
We're going to offer a
stellar
promo
It's-
code at some point, but what if it sells out before we get a
It will
DYM?
sell out.
See,
I
that's the
know.
problem.
No, we'll get our
It's-
DYM
I think
people
it
in.
sells out every year, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
it's such a
Yeah,
big deal.
so we should get
That
something
is incredible.
quickly.
Yeah, DYM members will get the promo
Yeah.
code. It's a
All right.
membership deal.
All right. Don't wanna-
Anyway, we're also very, very thankful to leadertreks.com, which we found out
Yes.
last week actually goes to .org.
Simple redirect to .org. Not sure the story.
No, but we need to find that out because they
do.
promote leadertreks.org.
Yeah,
And
but
if you wanna
.com is
promote correctly.
way more valuable. I don't know why.
I'm going to talk to them about that. We're going to be together this summer. They're coming to all of our student leadership conferences. We
Yes,
love
yes.
partnering with
They're
them.
wonderful.
They
If
are
you're on
great.
the East Coast and you would like to come to one of our leadership
Yeah.
conferences, it's going to sell out. So you
Speaking
need
of
to
sellouts, there you go.
You're going to get there. You need to sign up before
Sign up quick.
Easter, and who knows? Maybe it's
Yeah.
already going to be sold out. The other ones, we're going to have room for you. Go to studentleadershipconference.com.
I was talking to 2 different youth workers today. Both of them. One female youth worker is bringing like 4 of her like cream of the crop girl students.
Good.
Another male youth worker who's bringing a mixed group of about 6 or 7. So always fun to talk to those
That's
youth
cool. So
workers.
fun.
Going,
I
we're
love
in.
that.
We're coming to student leadership conference.
Don't bring everyone, just bring the right ones. That's what we that's what we-
honestly, just a few. Bring the winners.
Yeah, where are we this year? Southern California.
Yep.
At Mariners. We're
And we're
in
in
Granger.
Granger, Indiana, kind of what was that, South Bend area, and then somewhere on the East Coast. I don't know. I've never
We're
been
in
to the East
Baltimore.
Coast in that place.
Yeah, Baltimore.
Oh,
We've
no,
been
I
there,
did
we
not.
were there last year. That's why I know it's going to sell out because it was pretty full last year, and we're going to do one more year there. Sell it out.
Set out and then
Yeah, it's good.
burn it to the ground. I
Hey,
like it.
we're also grateful to Azusa Pacific University. Go APU.
Yep.
And
Well, how come you're not wearing an APU shirt today? You used to wear
Oh, every
school
week.
spirit shirts
APU
every
shirt.
week.
That's true.
Do they not fit anymore now that you're a little more buff? And
I had to
fit
get rid of all my
than-
larges, Josh.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh.
You can hand them down to me, and then in 6 or 7 years, and I'll still not fit into them.
Just kind of.
You're really tall. That's
Yeah,
Josh
that's
and
it.
I,
That's
Josh
it.
and I do CrossFit. I don't know if you know,
I know
that, Katie.
I do because you guys talk about it a lot. So. I do.
Jason, you should do
Just
it.
us athletes over
I
here.
should.
Oh, you know. Oh, what are you talking about? Sorry, I was just lifting this table, just doing some
Yeah.
quick wall balls.
Hey, this is the very last show.
It's a thing.
is.
Don't no.
Let's
Youth
skip right on
ministry.
there. We don't want to edit.
All right.
We
Burpee? Is burpee okay?
the
I don't
very
even know.
last show here in DYM studio, aka Fadi's house.
That's
Wow.
right.
Yeah.
Hey, Fadi.
We're moving
Fadi
to
What a
his
guy.
My
other
friend
house.
Fadi
I wish he was here to say
has got another building that we're moving into. We're
He's-
not
he's my
exactly
friend.
sure.
He's
No,
my
he's
friend
my
too.
friend.
Yeah.
We're gonna. He wants to build us a studio, so we might be a couple weeks without a studio.
Yeah.
But this is the last time. If we had thought about it, we could have put stuff on auction.
That would have been. Oh.
Yeah.
We still.
Oh, this,
we-
this stuff isn't
You guys
coming?
say, oh, like people would actually
That's true.
pay for any of that.
Like,
They would,
oh,
a
like,
little remnant.
we could at least just store it in your garage with.
No, all of my books are going back to.
How many different studios have there been?
Good question.
Free,
One.
free 2 first years and 2 youth ministry if someone answers it right.
I like it. I
Way to
like it.
spit that out. And how big's your church?
Yes,
His sermons are
it's
going to be
gigantic.
long.
Mom, he seems nice. I couldn't understand a word he said. We had two studios in our Simply Youth
Studios.
ministry.
Okay.
studios.
Stu-
That's
stu-
what we actually
studios.
called them. 2 studios in our Simply Youth Ministry days. Then we went to my garage,
The garage.
Oh,
which
yes.
became the Youth Ministry
The
garage.
YMG.
And then we moved here. So this is
Okay.
our 4th. We're going to now move to 5 in
Whoa.
5 in 266 episodes.
Not bad.
Not too shabby.
Yeah,
Not
that's
too
like
shabby.
53 an episode.
More or less.
Are you sentimental about leaving today? Or is it okay?
Nope.
You ready to go?
I'm kind of ready.
I like this room.
I
Yeah.
do too.
Yeah,
I
it's a
like
nice
the
room.
set too.
I like this
nice
room.
room.
I like having a studio audience.
Yeah.
Hey!
Make some noise, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
Producer Parker.
Parker.
It was, in all fairness, that was a standing ovation.
That was a
No,
great,
Just one guy.
It was.
great slow clap.
But,
It's just one guy.
but he stood up. You understand how
Okay.
significant that is?
By now, everybody. I mean, the word is out about our Super Bowl kit with Parker's
Yeah,
video
yeah.
and the whole bit.
And by the time this airs, it's what, mid-summer break probably? So
Yeah.
late July.
No, come on, John.
Come on.
It was a
Parker, I
great
believe
video.
in you.
Here we
I
go.
think
This
you
from
know that.
Jeremy Lukes from Buffalo, New York. I think it's Luke's. Locks. Sorry, Jeremy. I know you're
Iowa.
a youth ministry coordinator in a United Methodist Church. Go UMC.
Go APU, go
Why am I
UMC.
laughing at that?
What's
man?
next?
Come on.
Yeah, don't.
I'm
don't
currently-
Come on.
Currently working part-time at my home church as the youth ministry coordinator. I've been doing it for about a year and a half. I tried applying to a lot of churches when I graduated in May 2013, but there was little interest in me as I had little youth ministry leadership. My question is, when is a good time to begin looking and applying for full-time jobs? I have no restrictions to moving around the country. In other words, is there an average amount of years for quote-unquote experience that most medium-large churches look for, and what can I do to better present myself to churches? Thanks for everything you do. Matt, sorry you got canned.
Well, at least you know that.
Yeah, that's true.
Keeping
it going.
When I was trying to find a replacement for myself, stepping out of youth ministry,
Which was impossible.
Oh.
You were at that church
No,
for
it wasn't
Irreplaceable.
impossible.
20 years.
It wasn't impossible.
Has the youth ministry died?
No,
It's doing
not
good.
at all. It's doing great.
Good.
The whole
That's
church
what I like
died.
to hear.
It's doing
The
fantastic.
whole church died. Now he's starting his own.
No, that's what I like to hear.
Not true.
I'm kidding.
No.
It merged
JG.
with another one. It's
All
great.
right. Anyway, moving on. One of the
Josh is a jerk.
one of the automatic disqualifiers for me. Like when I interviewed,
Ooh,
I think
this is a pretty bold
It
statement
is,
that's
it
about
is.
to come out right here.
it is. But I interviewed, I think, somewhere in the ballpark, and we got lots of applications. But I think I interviewed about 24 people.
Wow.
Like after going through all their paperwork and stuff. But if I found out that there was someone that was like saying, I want this job, but I'm not serving anywhere, and you come to find out that they just don't want to serve anywhere, they're just waiting for the gig. It's like it's an automatic. It's like if you're not like
it's not-
involved or in the
yeah.
trenches, like I can't see that as someone that's building and sowing into faithfulness and sowing into like what we value here. So for me, right away, it's like
Gone. You're out.
like
Yeah.
so my encouragement to Jeremy Lukes. Jeremy Lukes. My encouragement is like just get plugged in, get involved anywhere you can, anywhere you are. Start serving. Put yourself under someone you admire. Wouldn't it be great if you just met while you're looking, and then when the time comes where God lays the job in your lap, and you have your pastor and your mentor that says, "Oh yeah, this guy's faithful. I can count on him. Anything I need, and that's what I started encouraging guys that were under me in youth ministry. I said, "Hey, show up as much as you want. You want to come on extra days, and I'll work with you and I'll train you. That's great. And then when it's time for you to be a youth pastor, you've proven yourself.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, he's working part-time at his home church.
right? It's fantastic.
Yeah, no, I like that. I like
like
the
it a
boldness
lot.
of that.
Yeah.
I like that. I remember you going through that process. You interviewed 25 people, let's say, but didn't you get like hundreds of applications?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're doing a resume, I mean, one page. Like,
Yeah, short
I
and
mean,
sweet.
short and sweet, and I would put a picture on there.
Yep.
I mean, not
I
for
think a
any kind of
picture's
vanity, but
No.
just because I think it's nice to connect with the page. So, kind of knowing who you are, it feels like you can connect a little
Yeah.
bit. So,
Well,
And
I like-
have a sermon ready on video.
Yeah, so we
One
can
that
see
you're
your
happy
teaching.
about, so that you can show them, and have some references.
Well, and I think I like some continuing education too. Like I went to this youth conference, or I read this book most recently. Just a few notes. You don't have to get into a lot of detail.
I applied for the master's program at APU.
Exactly,
Show
something like
sponsored.
that says,
You're in.
currently enrolled, about 6 years away from getting done. But those are big deals. So I would say little nods to like I'm not done learning. I'm still a student. I'm always going to be kind of pursuing. I'm serving currently, and I'm looking for what God has next for me. I would say
Those all sound good.
medium to large church, though, is going to need a couple years of experience in most cases. It'd be very difficult for a church to go, oh, you graduated in May, it's now July. We're going to take a risk on you and bring you on as the youth pastor. That's a tall order. So I would say consider an internship. There's
Yeah,
a
that's what I
lot
was
of
gonna
churches
say.
more than ever that are offering really, really
Well, and
good
he said he can
intern
go anywhere he
programs.
wants.
Yeah.
He's not freed up.
Yeah.
So
So I would say
Come intern for me or Josh.
I was
There you
gonna
go.
say, and if I had
Seriously.
my choice, who I'd
Yeah.
intern for between you two,
oh, there's no choice. I would get church plant experience and go with Jason. Oh, it was Katie and I.
Yeah.
I thought it was me and Jason. Obviously, Katie's the right answer.
Well, I think
well,
we're
it
both-
depends. If you
great.
want to fan somebody and feed her grapes, you intern with Katie.
Yeah,
That's
you
right.
got it.
If you
Yeah.
want to learn
We're all
youth
raising
ministry,
my kids.
Yeah,
it takes a village
It takes
and a
a
youth
village.
ministry team.
Yeah, totally.
or if you want to,
Play video games.
play video
Go
games
ahead, just say
and
it.
get free stuff.
Josh.
Speaking of that,
Clearly,
anything
Josh
free?
was probably
Anything-
your choice.
No, I would say find an internship. Just
Yeah.
Google it, see what's out there, and you'll find a church maybe in your area, and get some experience.
Yeah.
And then walking away from a 1 or 2 year internship, you are going to be ready.
Well, and it might be great for you to venture out. So if you're at your home
Absolutely.
church right now and you're at the the front end of your ministry career, it might be a great time to take an internship across the country or something, or experience a different environment, different kind of leadership,
Absolutely.
because that also just broadens.
Why don't we
your
Why don't we do
experience.
this, Josh? Why don't we think about this? Let's do a dual internship,
Okay,
a DYM,
I like it. I like it.
half
Help create resources.
part-time DYM.
Yep.
I'll mentor you if you're productive. If you're not productive,
Yeah, you gotta be pretty sharp. You better include more than a picture.
Oh, mentor you, maybe.
Maybe
No.
some candy bars and a
And
criminal
then
history.
could
Talk
be
about
on-
fanning and grapes. Come on.
could be on
Yes.
one of your teams. No,
That would be
Katie,
fun.
I'm. It's all work. It's work.
Totally.
I'd do it in a heartbeat. That'd be fun. That'd be great.
Yeah.
We got to talk about that.
DYM/Shadowback internship. I'm in.
Yeah.
Shadowback.
Shadowback.
Come
Yeah.
to the office
Code name.
and
Code word slave.
hang out with
Word.
Parker.
Code
Mason.
word grapes.
He can be so mean.
Yeah.
He can be so dark.
Sometimes it's kind of a joke. All right, but hey, seriously,
I'm in.
let's do an internship. Come on.
What was his name?
Jeremy.
John?
Jeremy
Jeremy, come.
Lutz.
Right now, there's your invitation. Is it the Lord speaking or is it us? We're not sure.
Probably
You figure
us.
that out. Let us know.
I don't know if I want Jeremy.
There's a definitive statement. Oh, hold on, this just in. Holy Spirit, no. I'm sorry.
No, I'm
It's just
teasing.
not going to work out. It's not you.
No,
So-
Jeremy.
It's Jason.
I like that. Hey, what about being a? Do you have a youth pastor for your church plant?
No.
The problem with our internships is
Yeah.
they're not going to pay,
right.
right? So sometimes people want paid internships. If you don't want
Yeah.
a paid
Yeah.
internship,
I've dreamed about a
There
day
are
where we
some
could do
great paid
that.
internships.
There are, and we
Yeah.
don't
Just
even
not
do
here.
like a stipend or anything. It's just you make it work. And the education though is so fun. The life, the learn. It is great. Our
please don't
interns
read
are
my
great.
name. I'm a youth pastor at a rapidly growing church outside of Huntsville, Alabama.
Pretty specific. We're not using your name.
Love the show.
say.
I watch when I can. I'm trying to catch up on past episodes.
All right, that could be anybody now because
Yeah.
everybody watches this.
Yeah. My question for you concerns cliques. Our group has a small clique of 5 or 6 senior high girls that have been together for a long time in this church. They are inseparable to the point where if one of them can't make it to our youth meetings, the others just don't come. On a recent trip, they huddled together all week and even made some of the junior high girls upset by being so exclusive and shut them off from the rest of the group. There are a few very strong, high energy, highly influential girls, but they've been a negative influence on our younger students for a few months now and only getting worse now that there are a few seniors and on their way out. How do I keep the clicking up from happening without upsetting this group and utilize them as leaders they could very well be. These girls would make a great core leadership team, but their behavior over the last few months, especially on a recent trip, has me second guessing. I'm trying to reach them without getting onto them. Advice.
I like the way that he's worded that. That's
she.
Is she?
No, I don't know.
I thought it was John. No?
Please don't use
Bill?
my name.
Oh, yeah. Alabama lady. I like the way that he or she has worded that very carefully. Like, I believe in them. I see the future in them. I want them to be great. They're missing the point. I wonder what it would look like, especially that last paragraph. What if you said something like that to them? Like, you guys, you could be the core.
Target the weakest link. Start with her.
Separate her from the flock, attack, and then I just wonder if they have been challenged or if they've just been barked at or yelled at or just identified as, well, those are the girls that never do it. And I wonder if someone could come alongside them and say, what would it look like if we did this, this, and this? And I know that you have great friendship and great chemistry and laughter and fun and memories. What if everybody could have that? Well, right now they don't. In fact, they feel bad because you have it so strongly that it's hurting them. What would it look? And I think share a little bit of that and see. And then they might be young, they might not get it. It might not be the time. But I think maybe just show them that you believe in them. Show them what could be possible. I think the way it's worded is really, really articulate.
Yeah. And what if it was even individual, right?
Yeah.
So going after, I always did that as a youth pastor. I would always look at, well, who is the most influential? Who can I pull under my wing and give some vision to? So if you take a kid out to lunch and just say, hey, we got a real problem here. There's 4 or 5 of you. You girls are all great. You're incredible. You're world changers. I see so much potential in you, but I see you as the leader. Would you help me by being the strong individual that can set the tone for the whole group? And wouldn't it be great? Do you see how the enemy is getting a foothold in your group by you guys having these kind of patterns? Would you shut this down with me and let God get the glory? And usually kids respond to something like that.
I wish you were still in youth ministry.
I wish he was my youth pastor.
Seriously, I'm so sorry
say
for how I
about
failed
great
you,
things?
Pastor Jason.
No, that's good. We say this a lot.
Strong,
the cliques is just a negative way of saying fellowship. A way of saying fellowship.
Yes.
So you might have this deep fellowship with these girls, and they really want each other and need each other, and we teach and preach all the time. Hey, when you graduate high school, you don't have to graduate as the most popular person on campus. You graduate with 3 best friends, 2 best friends, 1 best friend. So we actually teach.
They're doing what you're teaching.
Exactly.
Right.
And so to cast vision, it's just not leadership. So before I would put them in leadership role, I would want to see like, oh, we didn't see this. A lot of times kids don't see it. And let's think about the comfort level. Every youth worker, not every youth worker, most youth workers feel comfortable in their own youth ministry. But as soon as you put somebody outside of their comfort zone, all of a sudden you want to click. So, Josh and I, we go do this thing called CrossFit, which I'm sure you can tell.
You can tell. Oh, sorry, I'm going to just sit up a little straight.
But there's a lot of people there, and I've been taking some new people there, and I notice these new people who are like great youth workers. They're great in their own, but they don't know anyone, so they click up together. It's just a survival mechanism of we feel safe. This is comfortable. I'm not at church. I mean, these are youth workers that we're taking. I'm not at church, so I don't have to care about everybody else. But they're by themselves. So I think it's a natural thing. It's just not a leader thing.
Yeah.
And so to be caring and invested, we have to paint that picture that you're talking about.
Yeah.
So.
And I think just getting to know them individually. Right now, you're looking at them maybe collectively, where they are the clique. They are these 5 girls, and yes, they're always together. But what would it look like to build a relationship with each of the girls individually, and finding pieces of ownership that really match up with who they are? So if there is a potential coffee with each one of the girls, and even just hearing their story, what they love to do, maybe there's some great serving roles where you can kind of find some individual paths for them versus, hey, pack, be a leader of a leadership pack together. That might not be possible. So how can you kind of really individually come alongside of them?
Yeah, I like it.
I don't want to be the one that quenches this one, but if you've got kids that aren't showing up because one of them isn't showing, that doesn't give me a lot of hope. Not saying I wouldn't do everything we've just talked about, but that's a pretty telling sign that if there's truly like, oh, I'm not going to go because
just the immaturity of the group that's something
shallow, something's
or broken.
there. But anyway, all really good advice, and we all struggle with cliques, but there is a positive side. That it's ugly fellowship. Please don't read my name. I'm a 23-year-old, been in student ministry for 5 years. Want to thank you for what you do. I'm a DYM member. No, thank you. And I'm a rewinder. Love the show. Sorry you guys got Pismoed. Some backstory
Nice.
for my question is I've been part of the current church for a short time, and I came in knowing that I was going to be moving into the family pastor role in a few years. I'm currently pursuing my master's, and the shift will probably happen after I finish my master's. The senior pastor has made it clear that the student pastor role will probably never be full-time. He does not have a high view of student ministry, and I also feel that because I express my love for student ministry, I am not looked at with much respect, or because I'm the young guy and have nothing to contribute. I know that I am a younger guy, but my wife and I are expecting our first child in a few months, and I have my bachelor's in student ministry. The question that I have is if I feel God has called me to be in student ministry full-time for life, and was wondering if there was something that I could do to help them see the importance of having a full-time student pastor, even if it's not me. Or am I needing to start putting my feelers out there to see if God is leading us elsewhere?
Interesting. That's hard. That vision comes from the top, you know? That vision is like the senior pastor doesn't believe in something. That's a little bit of a blanket statement, because obviously he or she would, but I think that's a tough thing when you're starting to butt up against the reality of the vision and it doesn't match yours. Not a fun place to be. So you need to leave. Next question.
So get out while you can.
You're out.
Yeah. 265
insurance.
episodes. You know, people ask God will questions a lot.
Yeah.
And those are really tough. For, what should I do type questions. So, hopefully my prayer is when I think about the advice that we give and how we talk that, people would obviously be in touch with God's Spirit.
Far more than our words. So
Yeah.
for sure.
Our words are very, very fallible. But I think in a situation like this, you are the young guy. And instead of a chip on your shoulder, I think you can do student ministry, in a family pastor role. And you'd be a great advocate for it. If that's the infrastructure of the church and the pastor says, I want to put our money in a family ministry position who oversees the life development of kids, then that can still be a student ministry role. You're going to have to figure out, do I fit in this church culture? Is it a good fit for my family? Are my gifts being used here? Am I a part of the team? It might be just too new to know. Does he say how long he's been at this church?
5 years.
He's been in ministry for 5 years.
I think just recently.
It might be too soon to find out, but I do feel like if you really do believe at 23 that you're a youth ministry lifer.
He's been there a short time.
Okay.
So.
And I think you can think you're a lifer at 23.
I don't think anyone thinks otherwise, really.
No, I think some do. A lot of them go, I'm going to do it for a little bit, and then,
Maybe.
I want to be a pastor or something like that. Fall outside of God's will, like Jason.
Yeah.
But
Imagine.
but I think you can. I think you want to be in a place ultimately that you're working for somebody who values you and what you're called to do. And if you don't feel valued, that's probably the bigger one. And because you can feel called to do something, but if you're not valued as a person, you're just going to be, battling the whole time. But I also don't ever believe that somebody's first job is their best job. I think your best job is coming down the road a little bit, but that's just more intuitive and just my observation of talking to youth workers than that being biblical. But I think you've got your best years. This church probably won't be your best ministry. I may be wrong.
Think of who that person is too. They're still discovering who they are at 23, and they're still discovering how to do youth ministry and what they even believe. So I think come in with a lot of humility too, going, okay, this is what I was taught in school. This is what I read in this latest book. This church does not line up with that. So maybe you're there to learn a really significant shift in what will become your dedicated hardcore thinking. Like, I wouldn't just write it off because it's not your style too.
Right.
Like, I think it's dangerous if we start going, the church has to believe in me and want me in. I have to agree perfectly and whatever. I think it's messy, and it will maybe always be messy. There are tensions that will always exist. I mean, I think any youth pastor that's out there lives in that tension of, do I stay at this church? Do I go? Is it my time? This is a weird decision. This affects me. Like, I think that is the reality of ministry. I'm not saying you necessarily should stay or go. I'm just saying it is messy.
Right.
Maybe you're there to learn something. Don't run so fast.
Right.
Agreed. Oh man, I could get going here. This is a big one. The submission and surrender aspect of any 23-year-old, we all know it. If someone that's 23 with all their passions and all their training and all their excitement for youth ministry, if they can get these concepts of submission and surrender early on, how much better will they be for it? How much better will they be for understanding, okay, this isn't all going my way, and if I can come in and serve humbly, and my preferences and opinions can, for now, take a back seat, and I won't let my, I always say, don't let your passion trump your faithfulness, because if
tweet that. Boom.
Hey,
I'm gonna tweet that as my oath before the show.
Do you know
airs.
what I mean though? Like, because sometimes we
I already
see
tweeted it.
we see college students and passion
off the
always
charts.
trumps faithfulness, and it's like, well, is that biblical? No, it's not. What does God want for each of us? He wants us whole. He wants our spirits whole. He wants our character whole. And so if we're coming in and saying, gosh, I'm in this situation, let me just pray into it and serve here and submit and surrender, and then what's that guy's life going to look like in 5 years, 3 years, right?
Yeah, it'll be a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And faithful, you've only been there a short time, so you haven't even begun the process of faithfulness,
Right.
So even just living a few more seasons in this role, it's amazing what happens even just with a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Well, Josh, your church turnaround when you were in Michigan, / Wisconsin.
Absolutely, it was Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Just kidding, it was Michigan. That was a test.
And you failed.
And you thought, this doesn't line up.
Yeah, I mean, that part of my
I'm
answer
the
is
wrong
coming
guy.
out of, Well, and my vision for what student ministry could be didn't line up. The hills I wanted to die on were the exact opposite of the hills the senior pastor was willing to die on, and so it was filled with tension and pain. And there were many days where I'd pull into the church parking lot and be like, "Crap, his car is here, so he's here. I hate this." It wasn't easy. It wasn't beautiful, but God did something great there, and I
got you out.
And amen, happy ever after. But I mean, honestly, there were years of that where. And it wasn't like every day was abysmal, but there were days where I was like, I am done, and I quit many, many times,
And did God use that season to prepare you for the rest of your life?
I would promise you that I would not understand youth ministry to the 10th.
There it is.
That I do, because I had to. There was something.
I think we would all say that. Yeah. There it is.
It'd be fun to, at some point, I don't know if it would ever be possible, it'd be fun to interview that senior pastor.
I'd be interested to do that.
Me even to interview, get in the middle of you two, and just say, Pastor, what did you see in a young Josh that he didn't see in himself?
Yeah.
And it just would be interesting if he even remembers who you are.
He might not.
Show 266.
No, he's moved on a long time ago.
But it'd be interesting to know, because we all know there's two sides to every story, and we all. We come in again with passion, and
absolutely.
This guy's saying I'm the young guy, and sometimes until you've walked in that senior pastor's shoe, that's why I'm so excited, Jason, for your journey and what you're going to have to bring here, because I watch in 20 years at Saddleback, I watch all these people leave talking about how dumb Rick was, and it doesn't work, and that doesn't reach this generation, and I'm going to go start a church and show them, and they fail.
Right.
And it's just
Rick's still there
Rick is still faithfully killing
until you've walked in those shoes. It's a very, very difficult role. I mean, that senior pastor is shepherding the whole deal, and we get excited about one faction, and I understand that. I mean, it's all if you weren't a teenager, you weren't on my radar.
Sure. Well, that's why your insight over the next few months and years is going to be so fun.
I know.
Hey, let's tag this one on before we have to end, because it feels like it fits with where we're at, and we have just a short amount of time. Sean Stevenson from Damascus, Oregon says, What do you think of the current trend of churches hiring pastors or directors over children's ministry to college-age ministry? It seems like this trend works well with the larger church level where they have the ability to hire people to be the children's, middle school, high school, and college and working under that pastoral position. But I've noticed a lot of smaller churches moving to this model as well when they don't have the resources to hire people in those breakout positions. Do you think there's a benefit or caution that should be taken with this model?
Interesting.
So kind of similar to that last question. I mean, different, but similar in terms of genre in that he's taken on a family ministry position, overseeing everything. I mean, the trend that people are talking about, I'm not sure I'm seeing it yet, but they're definitely talking about it, is the unpaid professional youth worker. So that, that would be a volunteer type position. But, I think the trend has been there for a long time. It's that we've got 400,000 churches in the United States, and there's not, the majority are run by volunteers. So I think it's been around for a long time, so.
I know a couple situations like this right now, and it's not pretty. And I don't think this is ever fun for youth pastors. You work at a church, you serve under a senior pastor that interviewed you, and you're serving under his vision, and out of nowhere, they put this guy in place that's in charge of all junior high, high school, college, and children's, and all of a sudden you're like, well, was I not doing a good job?
Yeah.
Am I incompetent? But it's not always the case. I just know that
That's how
probably,
it feels.
That's probably not a fun one for most youth pastors.
It's not a fun one if you become that person who's now in that position. That happened to me at Saddleback.
Right.
And it was just a matter of longevity and direct reports. Rick had too many direct reports, and he wanted to scale it down. So as the high school pastor, I became over everything.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like ridiculous. I didn't know anything about children's ministry, or really want to. It wasn't in my zone.
And that's in the mega church, right?
Yeah, even college ministry of going. I was in college and I said yes to doing college ministry so early on so we could hire another person, but it wasn't in my sweet spot. So I think it's an uncomfortable situation for both the person who's having somebody put over them and that person who's often taken out of their sweet spot to more of a managerial position.
Mm-hmm. You can see the reason why churches want to go for that. Because, man, if we can get a unified curriculum from birth to graduation,
cradle to college,
we're going to align this, and it's going to be this perfect arc of beautiful discipleship. And so I think if that was a reality, that'd be a beautiful thing.
And if you found the right person who had a heart to do that for the whole life development process
or if you built that way from the beginning.
From the beginning.
There you go.
And
You're in the beginning.
that person was a developer. If that person, that role was a developer of leaders, then, that would be...
That's the lure of it. I just think it's really hard in real life.
Hard to find that person with that broad...
And not have them feel like, now I got somebody else meddling in the area that I'm responsible for. That's a tough gig.
Yeah.
I don't know if we even answered that.
I don't want it.
Except for,
I don't know.
I'm sure it's working in places. I'm sure it's working really well.
Some people have to make it work. That's the only option.
And if you have the vision for it, and that's what the senior leader wants to do too, you got to, of course, go with it.
That's right. You just don't let your passion trump your faithfulness, is what I've always said.
I've always tweeted that. Always. Guys, great show.
Totally.
This is the last one in the studio right here.
All right. Send your questions to webshow. Download youthministry.com.
There it is.
Quickest 30 minutes in the history of
this is it.
Say goodbye. We'll see you on eBay.
What's the new set look like? Is it orange?
It'll probably have some orange. Good idea,
just an orange screen.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Maybe it'll be.
There's a lot of stuff.
Maybe it'll be a green screen, and we'll put stuff on it. We'll let Parker program the show.
Here we are in Paris, France. I like it.
All right.
We're on a roller coaster.
All right. Blessings.
All right.
All right.
See you.
Have a great week.
Oh, wait. The promo code for YM360 is
Yipshaw.
Yipshaw. YIPSHAW.
Yipshaw.
25% off of their new devotional book. I have no idea. That's so much. But Yipshaw.
Yipshaw.
Good luck.
I love that you just make stuff up.
Yep.
Andy and Les are going, we're going out of business, but
we're getting a lot of promo codes.
Yeah.
We love our sponsors.
And let's hold up that book.
Oh, where did it go?
I gave it to you last week.
I read it. And
There it is. We took it back from you last week.
He took it back. It's in the
There it is.
Extraordinary,
All right. Extraordinary
365 days.
ordinary moments with anything but an ordinary God.
25% off. That is a deal.
Yep.
Today only.
that
Yep,
is
Ja.
a deal, actually.
I'm probably gonna. They're probably gonna tell me.
They're gonna be like, nah.
Yeah. All right. All right. Good show. That's fun.
All right.
New era.
Cool. Parker.
Okay.
What's happening?
Wait, you're still going.
No.
Hey,